Hey guys, KDDFS backing up with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down the Csgo slate for Dreamhacks August 12th, which is a Wednesday. We're getting down to towards the end of the group stages, so we're going to be getting OG and Complexity, we're going to be getting T1 and Furia, and we're getting Zapug Gods and Chaos. So it should be an interesting slate for tomorrow. Before we jump into the betting odds and the players and everything, if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, do all that fun stuff, help my channel grow. If you guys have not checked out Tilted DFS, you should definitely do so. We actually had a reader win the 2K prize for Counter-Strike the other day, so read up and might be able to help you win some money in Counter-Strike and all the other sports. So go ahead, check it out, link in the description below as well. Go ahead and jump into some of the betting odds for tomorrow. We got Complexity and OG. Complexity is a minus 175 to OG plus 130. Could be some interesting plays in there. OG. Well, I'll go over in a minute. Furia is humongous favorites against T1 at a minus 1200 to plus 557, could be some upside there. And then Zapug Gods and Chaos. Zapug Gods are a plus 125 to Chaos's minus 165. Should be interesting games tomorrow. We'll go ahead and jump into some of the games. It is only a three game slate, so it's going to be a quicker video. Try to break it down as much as I can for you guys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll start with OG, which I feel like could be a very contrarian and interesting play for tomorrow. Because if you're going to look at, going back to the betting odds, if you're looking at these three games, don't count this game because that one's not in the thing. If you count these three games, look at it, who do you think is going to be the most chalkiest? Looking at it, Furia, because they're humongous favorites. Complexity, because they're the next biggest favorite on the slate. And then maybe like Zapug Gods, because they're a little bit cheaper, a little bit down there. And they could be your value, per se, because it is a low-level NA game. Not low-level, but not as high-ranked teams as like a Furia or a Complexity or a OG. I feel like OG is going to go under-owned to what they should be getting. Therefore, I do like going to OG tomorrow against Complexity. I know it is crazy. I am not projecting OG to win. I think Complexity still has the best shot to win, but I think OG could. So going to Mantu could be a very, very solid option as one of your players, even as your captain. Going to Valde could be another solid choice. And then Alexi B at 5,600 is a really, really good value play for tomorrow. This game is supposed to be close. This game they could go 3, and OG could very well win this game. And I feel like you're going to need to get at least a winner or two, a player or two from this game on your optimal lineup. So if I had to lean one way or the other, I'm going the OG route for DFS purposes. With Valde being my favorite choice, then Mantu, then Alexi B. So that's where I'm going on that. Then you got the Complexity side, which I feel is just a little bit too expensive. Blame F is the most expensive player on the slate at $9,800. And I think he's going to go way over-owned. I think he's going to be the chalkiest pay-up option just because you know what you're getting from him. If Complexity wins, you're going to be getting a 70, 80, 90 point performance out of Blame F. So why not go after him? So he's going to be high owned. So will Obo and so will Config. 8,400 and 8,000 for those two. They're very solid choices. Yes, they're going to be higher owned, and I don't feel like I want to go after that game, after those players as much as I'd rather go after the OG players and then be able to pay up elsewhere. But if I had to go Complexity, Once again, never go rush. Rush is not a good. Look at the average scores. So never go rush, even though he's going to be like 3% owned. Don't go for him. Poison's all right. Nothing crazy. He's nothing crazy. If you're going to go after players from complexity, I'd rather go after Oboe. Oboe, then Config, then Blame App just for salary. Next game, we got T1 and Furia, which T1 is way underpriced. And judging off of how these NA games have gone, I feel like T1 has not a huge chance, but I definitely think they have a shot against Furia. Furia has looked really, really good. I gotta give them that. But I just feel like T1 could have a shot at winning. So, or at least putting up good points and maybe even forcing a third map. If I am going to go to it, it's getting a player as a one-off, and if I'm going to get one, it's going to be Pasadello as a one-off at 5,400. No, I'm not building a T1 stack, and no, I do not think they're going to win. But I feel like if they force a map 3, they're going to have a decent shot at being a value play that will allow you to pay for other players. But if you're going to go to them, Pasadello at 5,400, and then PRT at 58. I wouldn't really go after any of the other guys. If you're going to go after Malbs, fine. But I'm not really going after. I would only go after those guys as one-offs and as salary savers. And here we have what's going to be the chalkiest team of the day. Probably for good reason. They're going to be scoring solid. The question is going to Henny, Queserado, or Yuri. And if I had to pick one of these guys right now, it would be Yuri just because he's the cheapest. Meaning he's going to be the chalkiest on the team. Yuri, they're all around 60. You see their average points that they've been getting. They're all around that. And yes, you're going to get solid games out of them. I don't think you're going to need to pay up for more than one. If you're going to pay up for one, fine. I don't feel like you need to get to more than one. And I would prefer Yuri just because of salary. Art is priced up way too much, and then Vinny is just not up to the level that he needs to be, and there's better value plays on the slate than getting to Vinny. So prefer Furia in this one, but I don't feel like you need to get to a full-on stack of them. Last game is Pug Gods and Chaos. And for this one, I'm actually interested in Pug Gods. Yes, I down-talked him in yesterday's video going up against Triumph, which that was a crazy series. If you didn't watch it, Game 1 went to overtime. Pug Gods won. Game 2 went. Pug Gods were up 15-3 and came back and won the game. Oh no, sorry. Pug Gods were up 15-3. Triumph came back and won the game, which was one of the biggest comebacks I've ever seen. Final game, Pug Gods just blew them out, and that was it. But I do feel like Pug Gods have a good shot at winning tomorrow, and I think I'd rather play Pug Gods than getting to Chaos. I feel like Chaos are priced up. Well, not really. They're not really priced up that high, but I would rather get to Pug Gods on this one. Going after Zealous, going after Infinity. That's pretty much. I only want to get to those two. I feel like you can pay down for other options on the slate. Just getting to the top two from Pug Gods is going to be just fine. And then on the other side of the game, you got Chaos, where if you're going to get to him, Zeppa is going to be probably your best choice. Even though Junji was actually the best choice for today's game against Liquid. Obviously, they didn't win. But I do see Pug Gods beating Chaos tomorrow, and I would rather get to the other side of that game. But that's going to be my breakdown for the CSGO slate for tomorrow. Let me know what you guys played, are going to play, or playing, or whatever you want to put in the comment section below. If you want to interact with me, Discord's in the link in the description below. So is my Twitter. If you want to jump into conversations, I'll be up all night if you guys want to talk. And if you guys have not checked out Tilted DFS, link to that is in the description as well. But that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. And good luck today. Good luck tomorrow. And let's make some money.